What is going on, everybody? Welcome to our annual NBA show brought to you here on NY Yankee Mania. Today, with me, we have our usual panel. We have Sean, Chef Nick. Nathan should be joining us in a little bit. But today is we have a very special guest, our first guest here on the NBA show. We have Dana Barros. Welcome, Dana, to the NBA show. Appreciate you taking time out of your day to come on and gratitude us for a little bit. Talk to us about some NBA news. We'll also talk to you about your career as well. It's been an honor having all of our guests on the show, but having you is very special because it's our first one here. And I just want to thank Nathan and everybody's contributions because without them, we wouldn't be where we are in the show. I think we're only about 10 to 15 shows in. So I'm very excited that we can build this up more and have some a lot better credibility with having a guy like Dana on the show. So welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. How are you guys?
Good, man. We all good.
Good. All good here, man.
Awesome.
Go.
Awesome. So I guess first thing that we'll get into, Dana, talk to us about your career a little bit. How did it get started? What was your inspiration of going into the NBA? And, what was your work ethic like once you got there? And how were you able to transform your game?
I mean, look, I love basketball since, the time I can remember. My parents had me at 16, so I remember being like 3 years old, going to my dad's junior college game, watching them play in this, bullshit game. But for some reason, I just loved it. I loved it. And I've been just wanting to be in the NBA ever since as I grew up. Watching Gus Williams was my favorite player, then Michael Jordan. And, having the opportunity to play against him for like 11 or 12 years was an amazing experience. And just looking back on all that, man, it's been a blessing because it was such a blur to me when I played. I don't remember a lot of the stuff, but because I got on Instagram a couple of years ago, I started looking up old videos, and I'm really, for the first time, enjoying my career myself. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah. So you were point guard, correct, for the Celtics, the Supersonics, the Pistons, and the 76ers. Well, that's just incredible. Obviously, the Supersonics, not in today's NBA game anymore, but obviously a famous NBA player right now, Kevin Durant, used to play for the Supersonics as well. Describe kind of like what the difference was, playing on each team, and how are you able to adapt into your role on each of those teams?
Well, I thought I was going to Chicago and play with my guy Mike. Man, I was in Chicago the day before the draft. I sat with Doug Collins, Jerry Krause, and they told me they were going to take me with the 21st pick. I was ecstatic, man. I went back to Boston because there was no internet, no cell phones back then. So I got back on the plane, and when I got back to Boston, I ran through the neighborhood, told everybody I was going to Chicago. And then I'm watching the draft, and with the 16th pick, David Stern said something like, Seattle Supersonics select Donna Barriosi. And I'm like, who the hell is that, right? I was so surprised because I never talked to Seattle. We never visited. So when they picked me, I was totally surprised. And I was actually upset because they blew my opportunity to play with Mike. But then I get to Seattle and I played with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp for 4 years. We had great teams. We lost in the Western Conference Finals my last year there to Charles Barkley. Even though I didn't play a lot, I played behind Gary Payton. I had a great experience there because we won a lot of games. I asked to be traded because Gary was such a good player at that point. I knew I wasn't going to play, so they traded me to Philly. First year in Philly, I won Most Improved. Second year, made the All-Star team. It was my best year of my career. And then I get free agent, and I go back to the home squad, Boston, played there for 7 years. And then finished up with Detroit for the last 2 years of my career. Played 14 years total, and again, just an amazing thing to think about. Coming from Boston, the inner city where I came from, and how I grew up.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Sean and Chef Nick, you guys have any questions for Dana?
Yeah, Dana, good to see you, man. Thanks for being on. I appreciate your time and energy, man. Absolutely. I want to just start from the beginning too. Like, listen, Boston College, first player to surpass 2,000 points. I don't know if you remember that. No, but also, yeah, right. But also inducted to the Varsity Club Hall of Fame in 2005, right?
Right. Yep. Definitely.
Absolutely amazing. So, like, then going from there to the NBA draft, 1989, first round, 16th pick. Like you just mentioned right now, you wanted to be drafted by the Bulls, but you ended up in Seattle. And again, like I'm a huge, and we're all huge Knicks fans, but for us two, we're huge sport fans. So for me, I always followed your career. I was always amazed by your career, everything that you've done. Very impressed, by the way, too. Going into Seattle, let's just say. And correct me if I'm wrong, like, because one of the things I was really impressed with, not only, just your speed, your elite from the outside. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you have in your career 41.1% 3-point range? Like
Yes.
that's amazing. Okay, I wanted to make sure that was coming from your mouth. That's amazing.
And a lot of that was off the bench, which is even more difficult because you need like 1 or 2 practice shots every now, before you even really get a rhythm. So. Yeah, I'm really proud of that because of my 14 years, 11 of them I came off the bench.
Amazing. Wow.
So, what was it like transitioning from being a bench guy, a role guy, to being a starter? Or, was there much of a difference in the preparation?
Big difference. Being in Seattle for 4 years, not playing, as much as I wanted to, I didn't really know how good I was at that point in the NBA. I was trying to figure out my own career, if I really was capable of playing at this level, at a high level. So I was trying to figure myself out as well. So going to Philly from Seattle and making, winning Most Improved and then making the All-Star team was just validation of all the work that I put in. I worked extremely hard. I was one of the first players in practice and one of the last ones to leave every day. In the off season, I didn't take a day off. I took a red eye from Seattle to Boston, and I worked out that same day I landed. And that's the way my whole career went. No smoking, no drinking, none of that. I was so focused on just trying to stay in that position and not lose that career.
Right. And then you said something about you had played in Korea as well.
Korea? No.
Oh no.
I just played 14 years. I just said my career. That's my Boston accent.
Sorry, I might have misheard something earlier, but no. So and then what do you do now as far as basketball? I know we were talking about something about a gym and a league you were running.
Yeah, I own a basketball club, Dana Barros Basketball Club. So you go to DanaBarros3.com and check it out. It's 5 full all wood courts. We have 50 AAU teams. And we do year-round, AAU basketball camps, clinics. And that's what I've been doing for about the last maybe 15, 17 years since I retired. Awesome. I love the game. I want to stay around the game. And so I chose to do that and keep myself vested in the thing that I love.
Awesome. And also want to add to Dana. Are you an announcer with NESN also?
I used to do when I first retired. I did Celtics games, so I was posting pregame, halftime. I did for about 2 or 3 years, and then once I started my gyms, I just do consulting now for the Celtics. I've been doing consulting for about 17 years, so I do like appearances, skyboxes, stuff like that at the game. I have a 08 ring and a 2024 ring. So I've been in a part of the organization for both of those championships. They've been great to me since I retired.
Oh wow.
That's incredible.
If you don't mind, we got some questions from the chat.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I just have one more before we get to the chat though. So
all right.
Dana, I'm looking at your stats here. I'm very impressed. You played all 82 games in the 1994-1995 season. Is that correct?
Yep, definitely. I never want to sit out. I know someone who was on the bench but never really got the opportunity. My first 4 years, I want to play every minute. I think that year I led the league in minutes that year as well. I played like 41 minutes a game. So yeah, I wanted to be on the court, as much as possible. It was a dream, and I wanted that dream to last and be forever. You know what I'm saying? So I never wanted to come out the game. I was upset when they took me out the game.
Well, that's just incredible. That's something that you wouldn't really see today. A lot of players, load management, want rest days. They don't play back-to-backs. But for a guy like yourself,
they soft.
Yeah. Oh yeah. To put it, harshly, yes, they are very soft. But yes, we do have a couple of questions here from the chat. Thank you all in the chat for joining us tonight. They're very special guests. So the first one is from Ken. Ken from Yankees Ugly Truth. He says, "What was your welcome to the league moment, and did you ever come up against Larry Legend?"
Oh, definitely. That was a great question. Yeah, my first 4 years, I came in 88, 89, so I played 4 years against Magic and Bird, man. It was unbelievable. I played in the Western Conference for Seattle. We played the Lakers 5 or 6 times a year. You know what I mean? So playing in the Forum, playing against Magic and Worthy. I even played against I think Kareem one year, something like that. So I was in a great era. I went from the Magic Bird to the Jordan to the Hakeem to the AI, Kobe, and I retired in 03, 04. I just missed LeBron. So I wish I would have played one more year. I would have got to catch LeBron for that 1 year,
Awesome.
Wow. No, that's awesome. I mean, that's we talk about a lot of how it was back in the 80s and 90s, playing. You had Lonzo and you had Gary Payton, Karl Malone, you said Magic and you said Larry and all those legends, Michael, obviously, Pippen. And then you got players now, and it seems like the league has gone on like a softer compared to maybe the old days. But I don't know. Maybe you could tell us like some of the differences if you noticed in the game today.
Oh, definitely different. A lot more physical, man. Man, back
Yeah.
in the day, we could put two hands on you. There was no illegal defense. You know what I mean? So, like, if you were a scorer, you could put four guys on one side of the court as a defense and just try to stop people. And when you went to the hoop, there was no flagrant fouls and all that shit. There was none of that. You know what I mean? You could just clothesline somebody as two shots and play off. Play on, bro. That's two shots. Let's go. Throw the ball out. That's just the way the game was played. So a lot more physical, harder to score, man. Like the games back then were 95 to 89 or 88 to 85. So when you see people and you see Michael Jordan scoring 40 and 50 points, you have to understand that they only scored 90 total.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
watch how physical the game was. And you ever watch the Bad Boys? You ever watch that on the
Oh yeah.
ESPN 30 for 30 and see how
Mm-hmm.
physical the game was and
Yep.
what they did to Michael and anyone who came down the lane? Yeah, it was a totally different game back then. And nowadays, guys make so much money getting 200, 300 million. They're scared to get hurt before that contract comes, so they want to make sure they're healthy. I get all that, but it's still basketball, man. You got to play. You got to play the game, man. No matter
Absolutely.
how
So
you
Dana,
feel.
Dana, are you saying that they didn't flop like fish back then? Are you saying that?
You could flop if you want. We'd probably step on you, tell you to get your ass up. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. Dana, I want to get to your before I get to Boston. I just want to get to your days in Philadelphia, man. Just with this too, 50-point game against the Houston Rockets in 1995, 9 3-point game, then a franchise record against the Suns, a 41-point game against the Lakers. You had an all-star campaign, a game winner from Jeff Hornacek to defeat Indiana. Is there anything in that time that you can just bring to light also with your time with Philadelphia?
Just the opportunity, man. I was begging for an opportunity. And then just to get there and actually succeed was, it was just amazing. But also just to make the All-Star team, man. When I was announced as an All-Star, the day before I showed up in Phoenix, it was like on a Thursday. They gave me my jersey. I wore that jersey to bed every single night, man. From Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then I wore it during the game. It was such an honor to be a part of that, and as you see, I still have that jersey behind me over here, right here
Yeah,
on the wall. That's how much respect I show to the game.
I love it. Yep.
We also have another question from Jason here, who happens to be my brother. He says, "Hey Dana, what was your favorite moment throughout your whole NBA career?"
Great question. Well, I always said I wanted to play for the Bulls, and they were supposed to pick me at 21, but they ended up picking up B.J. Armstrong, and he won 3 championships with them. So B.J. owes me 3 rings. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. But
Deserve it.
my first game in the league was an exhibition game against the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan when we played in the Kingdome, and it was 60,000 people for the exhibition game, and I got to play against Michael Jordan in my first ever NBA exhibition game, and that to me was like the moment that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Because I remember standing in the warm-up line. I didn't even warm up. I just stood at half court and I watched Michael Jordan the whole time
Awesome.
in the warm-up line. And I was like, damn, he's way bigger than he looks on TV, you know? And not knowing that he was 6'7" with like a Condor 7-foot wingspan. But it was an unbelievable moment just to stand in that truth, you know?
Yeah. No, what was your favorite arena to play in?
Two of them. First of all, I love the Knicks because they had the best music and they had the best sound system. I mean, the bass was like crazy in there.
Good answer.
When you were in the warm-up line, it was just like I was in a club, you know? And then Miami, I just love the atmosphere. You know, I love the, just the whole feeling of Miami. I always wanted to live in Miami, but my wife wouldn't let me. There's too many beautiful women down there. You know?
Agreed.
So, but those are my two favorite arenas to play in.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, what was it like when you're trying to go in the paint and you got Big Shaq or Alonzo Mourning, or even Charles Barkley?
Well, I mean, it was a different game. Oakley was someone who would, if you came down the lane, they would give you one warning, like Karl Malone would give you one warning. Next time, it's going to be a problem, and it was a problem a couple of times. I remember one time in Seattle, Karl Malone like clotheslined me, flipped me over. I hit my head on the floor, and literally I lost memory for about 2 or 3 days. I didn't remember who I was. I didn't remember my name. I didn't remember anything. My mother, anything. I had a severe concussion. And actually, I played like a week later, which was crazy. Back then, it was a whole different medical thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah, it was a different game, but it was, sometimes they give you a warning shot, but a lot of times it was just, it was no warnings. They just put it on you right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, when I was a teenager playing basketball in middle school, I tried to play hard, defensive minded. And I would try to be like, well, Dennis Rodman, because I like watching him play, the way he hustled, the way he, was rough and scrappy, or like Alonzo. So I just was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you had to be. I mean, back then, like now you see a lot of 4 and 5 guys out on the perimeter shooting jump shots and dribbling. Back then, there was none of that. They stayed in the paint. They were very physical, and they controlled the paint. No one came down the lane. So it was Rodman, you had to to be a big guy, you were considered soft if you played on the perimeter and you didn't play physical. So it was just totally different. It was no other way for you to play if you were 6'8" or 6'9". I remember Ralph Sampson was in the league, a great player. He was very skilled on the perimeter, but he was called soft his whole career just because he wanted to shoot elbow jump shots, and he just took that. He took that. To me, they took it the wrong way. He was a very skilled player, and he just got that reputation and never left him.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And then today, there's a lot of talk today about Giannis, and about where he might end up in the trade deadline.
Yeah. Well,
What
I
do you
mean, to
think?
me, it's going to be tough to get traded because if you trade Giannis, you're going to have to trade 2 or 3 of your best players back to get him. You know what I mean? So wherever you go, if you trade him to Miami, Bam? It's got to go back, and probably someone else, 2 or 3 other starters are going to have to go back. If you trade him to Golden State, you're going to have to trade 3 or 4 players. Draymond's going to be gone, and 2 or 3 other players are going to be gone. So you can talk about trading them, but it's going to take a haul. If he wants to go to New York, it's going to be Karl Anthony Towns. It's going to be Josh Hart. It's going to be 2 or 3 other players. So to me, that's going to be a difficult trade because Milwaukee's going to want not only players, but they're going to want picks. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be tough for him to go to some place and still have a really good, team around him with 4 or 5 other good players. That's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah, with this Giannis news, it's really been just all over the place, I feel like, because there have been rumors starting from the end of last season to the beginning of this year, and then he gets hurt. It just creates, so much, just a lot of news that's created throughout that process with, the trade deadline coming up and all that. But I feel like it's pretty crazy because all these teams, they're they're just really not. They wouldn't give up a lot. I feel like for Giannis because he does get injured quite a bit, and he takes on a big salary. And who knows how much longer he's going to be playing after this year. I think he could be playing for a while, but is he going to make that much of an impact? And our team's willing to give up a lot of draft picks, like you said, and/or players for a guy like Giannis, only for maybe like a 2-3 year window.
Yeah, he's been hurt a lot. This is the third time in the last year he's hurt his calf. So
yeah,
if you see Dame Lillard tore his Achilles, Halliburton and Tatum, and Kevin Durant a couple of years ago before he came back healthy. So those calf injuries are very serious. You know what I mean? They lead to those Achilles. So him being injured, the way he plays is so physical. I don't see him playing 7 or 8 more years. He's just the way he plays is he's dominant, but he's so aggressive that he's gonna get hurt. As he gets older, he's gonna have more and more injuries. So yeah, like you said, it's gonna be a 2 or 3 year window. So to me, he's got to go to a team that's looking to win immediately, not a young team that's gonna be 4 or 5 years in the making. You know what I mean?
Right. What would you think about Giannis to the Knicks? What were your thoughts about that?
I think it would be great for him. I think it'd be great for the city, but I mean, like I said, you're gonna have to give up. You're gonna have to give up, even just to make the salaries match up in terms of that. But he makes 60, I think, this year, 70 and 75 the next year after that. So, like I said, you're talking Towns, Josh Hart, you're talking maybe Robinson. You're talking, you're talking. It's gonna be Giannis and Brunson by the time it's over. That's about it.
Pretty much, yeah. As far as the Celtics, like you mentioned before, they've had unfortunately some injuries going back from last season, but I feel like they can really start to make a run into this new year for the NBA and after the All-Star break. Give us your thoughts about the Celtics right now, and how far do you see them going if they get Tatum back?
Well, the skeptics, were really down on them. They told, from what I watched, everyone was saying that we should tank and we should try to get the pick, and then we come out pretty slow out the gates in November. But we played extremely well. I mean, we've overachieved way more than people thought. But right now, I think it's really what we call the dog days, because right before All-Star break, right after All-Star break is when it's just tough, because you're in the middle of the season. The adrenaline of the beginning of the season is gone. And now it's just road trips, games. You're waiting for the playoffs to start to come. So to me, they really have to be focused going into the break and coming out of the break, because right now we're in second position in the East. New York is a couple of games behind us, and I think maybe 1 or 2 other teams, Orlando.
The Raptors.
Yeah. So the Raptors and then 1 or 2 other teams are only 1 or 2 games behind us. So we got to really keep pushing and stay ahead of that curve, because you don't want to come out of the break and then next thing you know, you're 5th or 6th and you're playing on the road in the first round.
Yeah.
And for Tatum to come back, we're going to have to be ultra competitive. I don't think he's going to come back, in my opinion, unless we really have a chance to win, to go deep in the playoffs. So I don't see him coming back just, for a 6th or 7th seed, so we have to really stay at the top of the standings.
Dana, I want to take it back old school a little bit, back to the Boston days. So let's just talk about, and we talk about like team chemistry a lot. In regards to 1995 to 1997, a guy named Dino Radja. I want to hear all about your chemistry between you two, especially 1996 to 1997. You guys had a building a winner trading card. I want to hear all about that, how you guys just rocked it on the court.
Yeah, Dino, we played pick and roll, man. I survived 14 years in the league because I could master the pick and roll. I watched Stockton and Malone for 4 years in Seattle run that pick and roll, and I mastered that, after the second part of my career. So Dino was a great. He could shoot the jump shot from 15 to 17 feet. He could post up. He could take you off the dribble. So me and him were a great pick and roll tandem, and it was really tough for people to cover us.
Yep.
And then again, he averaged, I think, 18 or 19 points a game. He led the team in scoring. And then when Rick Pitino came, I think he traded Dino for some crackers or something like that. I don't know what happened. And Dino got mad and went back. He went back to Croatia, I think it was. He got tired of it.
Yep.
And, but he was a great player in that period of his career. And to me, he was overlooked as a scorer. Definitely was a great offensive player.
How was the trading card? How'd you feel about that, being on the card with Dino Raja, man.
Great. I mean, I was on one other card. I think it was with
Polo, yeah.
Gary
Right.
Payton. Well, I think on another card. So
That's right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and so yeah, those are two really great guys to be on the card. A lot
Yeah.
worse players I could be on the card with. You know what I'm saying? So and Dino, we talk on Instagram. We follow each other. So
Oh, that's cool.
every now and then we'll talk and we'll comment on each other's posts. So he's just a great guy, man, all around great guy and a good friend.
Yeah. Well, what was Gary Payton like as a teammate? Was he like had your back, or was he just real intense?
Definitely not. People had a different. They had a different perception of Gary. Gary came in the league making more money than most players. I think he signed his contract. I think he was like the second or third highest paid player in the league. So he took a lot of vitriol from players. Every time he went somewhere, his first couple of years he didn't play extremely well. So people were calling him overrated, and then that's when his mouth started. He didn't start all the trash talking, but he finished it. Believe me, he finished it. And he got a reputation as a trash talker, but being on the bench and playing with him all those years, there was a lot of other people who started those things, and I think that's why he got that chip on his shoulder, and that became who he was, because he took a lot of that heat in the beginning when he made all that money, and he struggled his first couple of years. So, but he was a great teammate, man. And me and him, we never had words, we never had bad conversations. If I played more than him in a game, he always supported me. When we played together, he always tried to make sure I got off, tried to set me up. And even today, man, he coaches the Big Three. When he came to Boston, I went on the course, sat on the bench with him for a little while. We kicked it, and we hung out at the club afterwards. Just a great guy, man, and an all-around great player and a Hall of Fame player.
Well, we do have a question here from. Oh, sorry, Sean.
No, go ahead.
Okay. We do have a question here from Assad, who was another great part of this panel. He asks you if you could pick your top 5 in this generation, and when you were playing, who would they be?
Top 5, I was obviously MJ. I would put Kobe. I would put Hakeem, LeBron, and then I could say, Tim Duncan or Kevin Garnett, even Kevin Durant. Those three would be tough to pick between. But even AI should probably be in there as well. He was just a transcendent player. He was a rock star on and off the court. You know what I mean? He changed the game, the way the whole game was played. He changed the culture of the game with the braids and the tattoos and the swag. So to me, he was really a culture changer for the NBA, just like Mike was, and like how Steph has done that now with his shooting,
Yeah, definitely.
And then I know you had guys like Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady who came up and like made dunks look real cool, with the backward dunks and.
Yeah, and to me, like you had people like JJ Redick saying that MJ and those guys are playing against plumbers and all that, it's just great. JJ was the plumber when he played. What is he talking about? You know what I mean? He was the plumber. So those athletes, man, like Dominique Wilkins, these guys were crazy athletes, man. I mean, it's just back then. So, I think they're better skilled today. I think, the players can do more, like the big men can dribble and shoot and do a lot more things, but it was just a different game, and those players were still just as great and could play in this era and do the same thing they did back in their own era.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when John Stockton was one of the better, all-around point guards,
The best, one of the best, not
one
better.
of the best.
He led the league in assists probably like 11 to 12 years in a row, and just was a tough player. He wasn't fast, he couldn't jump high. He was like Larry Bird, athletically. He was, you know what I mean? He wasn't a great athletic player. He just knew how to play the game, man,
Yo, Dana, my guy, Chef Vic, Evan.
What's up?
What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Dana, speaking of T-Mac and Vince Carter, I just want to say congrats to them. They have a new podcast called The Cousins, Vince and T-Mac. I don't know if you saw their first episode. We got to get Dana. We had to get you on that show.
Yeah, man. Tell him, man. Tell him I'm ready. I'm ready. And willing. Let's go.
Yeah, we got to get you on the Vincent T-Mac show.
I've been trying to get on the Smoke podcast, man.
Oh yes,
Trying to get on that too.
yeah. Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson are the real deal, man. They speak the truth, and we definitely got to get you on the All the Smoke show, and also obviously the one with Vincent T-Mac. But Chef Nick, Sean, Evan, you're doing a great job with Dana and everybody in the chat. But Dana, I want to bring this up. Whoever doesn't know what jersey number he wore number 3 also when he was with the Sixers, along with Allen Iverson when he played with the Sixers. So, Dana, what was it like wearing the number 3 for the city of brotherly love, along with Allen Iverson? What was that like for you?
Well, I didn't get to play with him. He came.
Oh, not with him, but we're wearing the same jersey though.
Right.
Great.
Well, to me, it was great, but once he wore the number 3, everybody forgot about me. So that was a bad thing. You know what I mean? Once he put that 3 on, there wasn't no more Barros jerseys running around Philly. So I salute him, man, because he took it to the next level, and like I said, he was an icon and a rock star, man. And it was an honor to play against him for like 7, 8, 9 years, you know.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Ultra Cowboys in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah, Dana, can you explain? Obviously, when you were playing the old school with all the players playing not dirty. I shouldn't say dirty, but playing with a lot of toughness. And the refs let you guys play back in the day a little bit more. But now you see in this generation, you see refs calling if you touch like a finger like this, they call a foul right away. So just talk about the change of the refs and the generation of this game, because I think it's really important to discuss that the change, because I think back in the day everybody loved the toughness, the roughness, and the refs not calling easy fouls, but now you see refs calling easy fouls.
Yeah, well, that was David Stern. Like I think once like you had the Malice in the Palace. I mean, when the fight broke out in the Palace and all those things happened, that's when David Stern said, "Okay, we're going to change this whole thing around." Because, like I said, the playoff games were like 88 to 82. You know, it was a real physical game, and it was and he wanted it to be more. He wanted to open the floor up so the fans could enjoy the game more. So he really kind of pushed the refs to change the style of play, let the players play more. And to me today, it's so easy to score, man. It's so easy to score. It's just you can't touch anyone. James Harden, you put your arm out, they come up underneath you and do all that foolishness. To me, it's just. If I played today, I average 20, 22. My All-Star year, I would average 28. Because it's just you're taking 15 threes a game each player, and it's just ticky-tack fouls and flagrant fouls for just trying to block a shot. Next thing you know, it's a flagrant foul, 2 shots in the ball. It's just different game, and it's a lot easier to score and play today.
That's true.
I have a 2-part question for you, Dana. Who is your favorite coach to play for?
George Karl. I played for 2 years for him in Seattle, and to me, he was a great coach, and he just let me play. He just, even though I didn't play a lot, when he put me in the game, he said, if you don't shoot, I'm gonna take you out the game. Yeah. And he played my style. We pressed, and I'll tell you, like we played Utah almost every year in the playoffs, and every single game, we would play a different defense against Stockton and Malone. So the first game, we would play like a 1-3-1 trap. Second game, we would play like a full court press on him. And he would change up, just things in every single game. And we were so prepared. I just think I love playing for him. Just offensively, defensively, he let the players play. But he prepared us, and he gave us different techniques, different ways to play teams and surprise people all the time the way we played with the different defenses and the traps that we played. So I love playing for him. He was my favorite coach to play for.
I like that. And in your opinion, what makes a great coach? What's the communication like during a timeout? Because I'm really interested in knowing from a player's standpoint, what's said in the huddle, what goes into timeout strategizing, what goes into all of that, and how effective is that once the game obviously is going on?
A lot of things go into being a great coach. Obviously, being strategic, being able to make adjustments at halftime or quarters, but also having the respect of the players, and to be able to control the locker room and control the timeout, and not not being favorites, and not having favorites, just being all across, all the way across the board, being the same. And I think that's what gives you the respect of the players in the locker room and on the court, because a lot of time coaches were scared of players. Players ran timeouts. A coach would call a play. We go out on the court, and the player would be like, "Man, we ain't running that shit. Give me the ball."
Yeah.
It was a lot of that going on for coaches who weren't respected. So it's a tough job, man. You got guys making more money than you, guys that can get you fired. So there's a fine line where you have to be critical, of players, but also respectful in the way you say things and do things. So, yeah, it's a difficult job. It's like a ref, but again, it's it's difficult. But again, I wouldn't mind being a coach. The money they're making now, I think they're making 10, 15 million a year. So salute to them.
Yeah, I mean, you see guys like Steve Kerr and Luke Walton, a lot of the role guys having coaching jobs now.
Yeah, it's just almost the luck of the draw. I mean, you see, like Jason Kidd, I thought got an opportunity. He's done a pretty good job. But sometimes it doesn't work out as well. When you don't have that experience of, like, even Magic struggled with that. Bird struggled with that.
Yeah.
Because they expect a certain level. They're like, man, I want that shit that I had. I want, and everybody doesn't have that. They don't have that in here. You know what I mean? So it was tough for those guys when players don't have the respect for the game and they don't show up and work as hard as they're supposed to. It's just difficult for the great players like that to try to come in and be a coach.
Before we go any further, I want to give a score update on today's games. I know you're watching the game, Dana, and in the third quarter, the Lakers up big against the Wizards, 100-66 over the Wizards right now. Yeah, the Raptors are up 100-66 in the third.
Oh, I thought you said 166.
Oh, no, sorry, yeah. But in the second quarter, Magic are up by 142-41 against the Raptors. Knicks are up by 12 against the Trailblazers in the second, 56-44. The Grizzlies up by 3 against the Pelicans at almost halftime. And then, Dana, your Celtics are up by 21 right now against the Kings in the second quarter, 67-46 at the TD Garden, the toughest, the best arena, I think, by far there. And then the Madison Square Garden you can put up there. But TD Garden, one of the toughest stadiums to play in. So the Kings are in for a tough show tonight. They're down by 21 currently. And then I think those are all the games for now. It's a light schedule today.
Wow, I can't believe we're up 21 because Jalen's not playing tonight. So that's
Jalen.
Right.
Yep.
And then you got
Nets, Cavaliers, Suns later tonight. Clippers, Nuggets later tonight. Jazz, Nets, and then Pistons, Warriors. So.
Right, and then you got, I guess Luka just had a big first half with the 26 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds just in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a what was it, like a 40-point night the other day, or
46 points
46
against
the Mavericks.
Mavs. Yeah.
Now you talked about Larry Bird, right? And how I talked about how non-athletic he was, but still was a 26, 7, and 7 every single night. And now you look at Luka's like the new millennium Larry, taking it to another level. He's just an unstoppable scorer. He's slow as hell. Barely can dunk, but giving you 40 and 12 a night. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, and then what also blew my mind was I saw him the other night do a these full court passes. Like he get the ball, rebound, and the guy breaks it up, and like he'll thread the needle. It's not like a full court pass to a way wide open guy. No, the guy's got like 2 defenders on him.
Right.
And catches the ball.
The guy off, and he's throwing it right over the tip of the defender.
Right.
LeBron, right. For layup.
Yeah. Yeah, or the other big guy they got on the Lakers, the
Ayton.
Yeah.
Hachimura. Yeah. He does it to all of them. He's amazing, man. Again, even though he's scoring 30 and 40, he's still probably one of the best passers in the league,
Yeah. Dana, we got some more fan questions here we want to get to. Before Ultra Cowboy wants to know, during your tenure in Seattle, Dana, what was your favorite Shawn Kemp dunk?
What was my favorite what?
Sean Kemp dunk.
I think against Golden State, they cuffed the ball on Gatlin and dunked it, and then pointed at him like that. And then the craziest thing was Gatlin got up and slapped him 5. Like, damn, that was crazy. And that, you don't see that often. Usually that's a fight back then. But
Yeah.
Gatlin was like, damn, I can't even say nothing. I got to give you dap on that.
I'll tell you a cool story. Actually, last year we had this big show. It's called the GTSM shows in Edison, New Jersey. We had a whole bunch of players come out. I was with Sean Kemp during that event last year. He is tall in person, Dana. When he was standing up, him and Dennis Rodman was there too. Him and Dennis Rodman in the same room was crazy. It's like it was amazing to see, and to see them get to catch. Gary Payton was there too at the event. So all three of them getting together, catching up was awesome to see in person. And Sean Kemp, I don't know, he's like what 6'11", 6'11", right?
Skilled, man. Skilled, could dribble, all that. Man. Go full court.
Yeah.
Dana, I was gonna say, Dana, your Seattle days. You ever play with Detlef Schrempf?
No, I was actually traded the same year he came.
Wow. Okay.
He was traded. I was traded. Me and Eddie Johnson were traded, and then at the same year, Derek McKee was traded for Detlef Schrempf. Derek went to Indiana, and Schrempf went to Seattle.
There you go. Okay.
Right.
Wow.
And then
I was traded for Kendall Gill. Me and Eddie were traded for Kendall Gill.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. Victor has a question here. One of our fans. He said they want to know, or he wants to know, Dana, what was the feeling the day they handed you your uniform?
It's an amazing day. I mean, like I said in the beginning, my first exhibition game when they laid the uniform out was against the Chicago Bulls in the Kingdome in front of 60,000 people. So it was an amazing day. But that, like, again, just to make it to the league after, how we all do, we lay in the bed and I'm at the park pretending playing against a ghost, and next thing you know, I'm on the court with the ghost. It's just an amazing thing.
Yeah, and we also have a question from our friend Katie. She's a big listener for the show. She wants to know. She said, "What's up, guys?" She wants to know your Dana. What was your favorite moment of the NBA All-Star career?
The favorite moment was the 50-point game. Other than making the All-Star team, just having a 50-point game, it just to me it solidified, who I was at that time and the work that I put in. And today is the reason why all the kids know me, because that's what comes up when they YouTube me. The NBA posted that every year on that date, so that's what comes up, all the time. So the 10-year-olds at my gym who never see me play, that's the first thing they see about me usually when they YouTube me or Google me. So that's salute to the NBA for doing that. But that's one of the greatest moments of my career of scoring 50 points back in those days.
yeah. Also, there was another question. Speaking of or from Assad, speaking of the Supersonics, what was your thought when they decided to move them down to Oklahoma City to become the Thunder?
Terrible, man, because it wasn't about the basketball. What happened was the owner of Starbucks bought the team, and the NBA told him if he didn't get approved by the city for a new arena in 5 years, he could move the team. And they voted every year, and they voted. But in the last year, they just built the new Kingdome for the baseball and football team. So the city voted no on the basketball arena, and that gave him the right to move the team. It had nothing to do with basketball. We had the most amazing fans. It was great support, and it was, to me, that's going to be the first exhibition team that they bring back, because the NBA knows that was a terrible thing to do. That was foul.
Yeah,
they should have never did that.
Yeah, no, I used to work in Seattle. First, I was stationed there in the Army in Tacoma. Then I worked security in Seattle, and a lot of people would always lament about the Sonics moved, man. We need to get the Sonics back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, terrible, man, terrible. So hopefully, I think in 28 they're going to be the first. They're going to do 2 teams, I think, or 4 teams. So they're definitely going to be one of the first 4 teams in the new expansion.
Yeah, Dana, I agree with you. I think it's time to have a team back in Seattle. They've been have been they've been starving to have a team. So I think it's time, and I think we should do a petition together and send it to the Seattle mayor or somewhere to start to bring back a team in Seattle. I think we should do that.
Let's do that. If you did if you asked 1 million people to sign up in the state of Washington, you get that in about 2 days, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
we should definitely think about that, Dana. I think we should seriously think about that.
I know because
you don't have to think of that. The NBA has announced that Seattle will be the next expansion team.
Yeah,
So
because they do have an arena there, where the women's team, the Storm
have,
play.
Climate Pledge Arena, but that's the Kraken Arena. I don't know if they would play there.
No, they have, it's over near. It's in that Queen Anne district of Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay, the Seattle Storm. That's where they play.
The Seattle Storm have their own arena.
Yeah. Okay. Dana, I want to get back to George Karl. Did you ever think he would be a big social media guy like this? He's big on social media now. He's been going on. I think he has his own podcast now, and he's been going on other podcasts. Did you ever think after his coaching career he would have been big on social media like this?
Definitely, because he speaks his mind, and that's the one thing I like about him. He's not afraid to say whatever he wants to say.
Yeah,
I remember him being a coach, and I remember him talking about steroids in the league. I remember him talking about certain players, certain things, and he'll speak his mind, and that's what it's going to make a good podcast, or him going on a podcast, because he's not afraid to say whatever comes to his mind, and as long as because that's what he believes, and that's the one thing that'll make him legitimate as a podcaster, is that he's not afraid to say it.
We got to get you on that podcast too. Also,
I'm sure if we talked about it, I'm sure he'll do that, because me and him are real cool. And he always said that I was one of the best shooters he ever seen in his whole career. So I salute him for that and giving me that respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then speaking of it, you had those other legendary coaches during your time. You had Popovich and obviously Phil Jackson and Pat Riley.
Yeah, a bunch of guys. Yeah, I mean, it was back then. The coaches mattered. You needed coaches like that. Those coaches were coaches that commanded the huddle and commanded the respect of even the greatest players in the league. So to me, today you need more of those guys. Because there wouldn't be that load management shit going on.
Yeah.
They ain't having that. Boy, what's your ankle? Take that shit up and let's go.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. What's it like when back to with your development leagues with these young kids that come out and play and having that time?
In terms of the young kids doing what?
Like coming out to play and learning how fundamentals and just having leagues of their own that kind of.
Yeah, it's not a lot of the younger kids are. I mean, the AAU to me is ruining the young kids, man. It's just it's all one-on-one. It's all whoever the best player is, he just backs the ball out and he goes one-on-one every time. There's not a lot of ball movement in these games. Yeah. There's not a lot of plays ran. So when these guys get the college or the pros and that, now they have to run a system or run plays. It's almost like they're learning on the fly, man, because they just been freestyling. From high school on. That's all they do is freestyle in AAU and high school and even in college for the 1 year they play,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in today's NBA, you always see it's obviously more three-pointers. There's more activity in the perimeter. I feel like that's why there's not much attention around the paint, because you still have the big men like Jokic, obviously, and teams that are physical, but you really have to be concerned with teams that are along the perimeter as well. And I feel like there's still, some teams run a lot of European style basketball where it's like you drive in and then you kick out. You try to find the open guy. I think that's a good brand of basketball, but you also have to drive inside, be physical as well, try to draw fouls. What's your opinion on that? And, where do you think the game is headed from here?
As much as I love 3-point shooting, man, I hate watching the game sometimes because I hate watching the 3-on-1. And then a 28% shooter goes to the corner for a 3 when he has a dunk. You know what I mean? Yep. But instead of taking the layup, they just flare out to the 3-point line, and you're watching 40 and 50 3-pointers a game. And I've watched games where teams have been 5 for 40, and they're still shooting the ball and refuse to go into the paint and drive. And it's just tough to watch. And the fans, I know, sitting in the stands now, a lot of the fans are like, oh, my God, it's another 3 and another 3. And I think it has to change somewhat, and it does in the playoffs at time. That's the one time where it does change.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to the later rounds of the playoffs. But man, it's a difficult watch for fans nowadays, especially teams that try to emulate Golden State, but they don't have the shooters to do it, but they're still shooting threes. It's just ugly. It's ugly to watch.
I know.
Well, I mean, OKC Thunder now, maybe you can say they have a potential like the Warriors seem like a dynasty, but OKC has shooters all over the place, and even the bench is loaded, and they're a team that, and plus they got draft picks, Dana. This is amazing. Like Sam Presti, one of the underrated GMs in the league, and he has top draft picks along one of the top teams in the NBA right now, which is ridiculous, and it's crazy to see. And but I gotta bring the All-Star game to you. And what do you like about the celebrity side of it when all the celebrities come out? And like for example, today we got St. Brown from the Lions. He's going to be playing in it. Keenan Allen from the Chargers is going to be playing in it. Shams Charania is going to be playing in it. The NBA, the ESPN reporter, but. Do you like players?
Hold on. They're gonna be playing in the regular All-Star?
No, not the real. It's a celebrity.
Oh.
It's a celebrity game.
Yeah.
But like for example, I brought up players like St. Brown and Keenan Allen, the football players. Do you like that? Because I feel like it's a concerning thing. What happens if they get injured and then they tore? For example. If they tear the ACL on the court, they're going to be out for the season for the regular sport. So, do you like that? Are you concerned about that, or do you like that idea?
The fans like it. I like it, but I'm sure their teams don't like it. They definitely don't like it. I'm sure Detroit or whoever those players are playing for, their GMs are like, hell no, do not do that. Like you look at, I think Embiid. The reason why Embiid was so hurt is he got hurt in the Olympics. Some teams don't even want their players playing in the Olympics because they're afraid they might get hurt. So, that's a big problem for when you're paying someone $300 million, and they decide to go play in a pickup celebrity charity game or whatever, and they end up doing that. That's a tough thing for a team to swallow when you're paying somebody that type of money. So teams don't want that at all, but the fans love it. So it's a give and take on both sides of it. Yeah,
and Victor brought up a point here. I don't know if you agree with this, but Dana, in your day, you earned a 3-point today. They just handed to them 3-pointer ruined the NBA in his opinion.
Yeah, again, it's hard to watch, and I'm the 3-point shooter. I'm top 7 all time in percentage. But I don't want to watch it sometimes. Like I said, I've watched teams. I know the Clippers one time. James Harden was on Houston, and they were in the playoff game. And I think they were like 5 for 40 from the 3-point line. Yeah. You know what I mean? They just kept shooting, and the announcers were like, "Stop!" But they just kept shooting. So it's tough, man. It's tough. It's a copycat league, and people are still trying to copy what Golden State did 10 years ago. Golden State doesn't have the shooters they have now that they had then. They don't even shoot as many as they did back then. But teams are still trying to emulate that style. To where everyone on the court, even Boston, we took the most threes last year.
Yeah.
Al Horford was our center. He shot 39% from the three. And he took over 200 and something threes. So that's just the way the game is. And hopefully it changes soon, somewhat. And what's going to happen is, and I thought Denver playing big with Gordon and Jokic, even though they shoot threes, they don't shoot as many as most teams.
Yeah.
So I thought Denver, would winning the championship would kind of settle that down a little bit, and teams might go a little bigger to match up against them. But like you said, OKC won, and I think it's swinging back the other way again.
Yeah.
Dana, in regards to the 3-pointers, shooting beyond the arc, who do you think started that? I remember Dan Marley doing that on his days with Phoenix against the Bulls. He shot a lot of 3-pointers beyond the arc. But in your memory and your experience, who do you think started that?
That was definitely a great call on him. He was one of the guys. You had guys who shot great percent, like Mark Price, Steve Kerr.
Yes.
They shot over 40%. So people wanted to get more of those guys. If you had a great player like Dennis Scott.
Yeah, Dennis.
Shaq playing with Shaq. If you had a guy like Shaq, you needed – when he went to the Lakers, they went and got Rick Fox. They went and got these guys who shoot threes. So when you had back then, again, the big men did, Charles Oakley and those guys stayed in the paint. They didn't go outside. So
Yeah.
you had to have one or two guys that could open the floor up and for your great players. So, once you had a Shaq or an Akeem, Houston won back to back because Vernon Maxwell, Sam Cassell, and Kenny Smith shot threes, right?
Yep.
Opened
Right.
it up for Akeem.
Yep.
So that's kind of where it started, where
Good
these
point.
great players needed these shooters,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Bulls had Jordan and you had Pippen. Pippen was pretty much their 3-point shooter.
Yep.
Well, no,
John
they had
Paxson.
Steve
John
Kerr, they
Paxson.
had Craig
Steve-
Hodges, they had B.J. Armstrong, they had
Yeah. Glenn
what's
Rice.
the guy's name?
Oh,
Glenn Rice.
John Paxton.
Paxton, that's who it was. So they
Yep.
had shooters. They had to put shooters around Jordan because it was the bad boys was like clotheslining them every time he went to the basket.
yeah. Yeah, I speaking of bad, I was able to. I go way back with Isaiah Thomas. I had an opportunity to do a segment with Isaiah Thomas, like 4 or 5 years ago, and then I did a segment with Dennis Scott too. So I'm really connected with those two, and along with you, Dana, obviously. But I gotta ask you though, for you though, like seeing, I want to ask about Derrick Rose because this guy overcame a lot and with injuries, and he had a good career. And if he didn't get injured too much, by the way, he would have still been playing. That's how talented he is. And but he got his jersey got retired now recently from the Bulls, and talk about him because I think he deserves it, obviously, and he overcame a lot. He's a family person, and you saw his whole family there, and his son got emotional, and that was an amazing moment to see. And he made a joke about Tom Thibodeau, and he got Thibodeau laughing, which is a rarity. But just talk about that whole ceremony, the moment, and seeing Derrick Rose getting his jersey retired, and well deserved for the Bulls.
Well, I've been doing consulting for the Celtics since 2006, so I was there, and in those days where we went 7 games with Derrick Rose, I think 2 or 3 years in a row, where Derrick Rose averaged like 30, 10, and 6 for the playoff series, and he took us to 7 games. The year we won the championship in 08, we beat Chicago in 7th game at the Garden in a very close game, and he was so dominant and probably one of the most explosive players I ever seen in my life. I mean, him going to the basket, dunking on people. And if young players today didn't know Derrick Rose before his injury, go back and look at his tapes. He was one of the most explosive 6'3" guards and under that I've ever seen in my life. So I salute him. And even through the injuries, his love of the game brought him back. And most players who as great as he was wouldn't want to play after, if they couldn't play at the level they were before. But he loved the game, and he came back. He played his role for the rest of his career as a role player. And just salute to him, man. And again, I think he had a blessed career up until that injury, and it was a shame, man.
Yeah.
Those battles with the Celtics and Bulls that year was a great series. Like you said, Game 7, and
him against Rondo. It was him and Rondo going back and forth.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome to see that those teams go back and forth. And obviously, you guys won the championship in 08. So yeah, that was a cool. That series is the dogfight.
Yeah, definitely. Salute to D Rose, man. Salute.
Yeah. And then it's a lot of guys. Yeah, D Wade, who loved the game too.
Yeah, injury slowed him down almost the same. He was kind of like a Derrick Rose slasher. Great dominant player in the paint, explosive, could dunk on you, but then them knees took a lot of his career away. He would have played a lot more years and played a lot, had a lot more points in terms of being a great player, longer All-Star, and a lot more of that. But just again, the injuries like Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill. You look at these guys who are unbelievable players, and injuries just stole half of their careers away.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you had guys like
you can keep going.
Yeah,
and then you had guys like Van Exel and Robert Horry, who were bench guys, but they won a lot of championships. Over their careers.
Van Exel was very underrated player, man. Hell of a player, man.
Oh yeah,
hell of a player.
So any more questions from the panel? And Dana, I don't want to hold you up. I know you're watching the game, Celtics. But before we let you go, would you like to promote anything on for Joe, Chef Nick, Sean, or Evan?
Well, I do have one more question, if you don't mind, Dana, and this is important. I would like you to just talk about one more time about the Barros Basketball Club.
Yeah.
I think this is important. How look, if you don't have the time, but like just how you got there and how is it going today? I would like everyone to know more about that because that's awesome. That's really important.
Yeah, you can go to danabarros3.com and you'll see the facility. Just the most beautiful facility. I'm so proud of it, man.
Awesome.
And we have, again, 5 wood courts. We have 50 AAU teams, but it's something that I love to do. I always ran camps, even when I played in the off season. From 1988, I had camps for kids, and I just turned that into a facility. And you can go to also go on Instagram, danabarros3. And check out my Instagram. I'm about to start my podcast there right after All-Star break. Check that out and see. I do a lot of different podcasts on there, and I post on there as well. So just again, support that. But again, just love the game of basketball, and that's why I'm still involved in it, and will be until the day I'm not on the earth anymore.
Love it.
Dana,
Love it,
you do, and you guys, and Dana, you do a great job of that, and I can speak to it too. And I just want to say thank you for joining Joe, Chef Nick, Sean, and Emmett on today's show, and also the chat. You guys did a great job asking awesome questions to Dana, and we'll definitely help promote your podcast. And I'm gonna work on getting you on other podcasts. Like we got to get you on all the smoke one, and obviously Vince and Mac, the Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter one, and but I want to see more of your podcast and. Obviously, promote your camp more, and so let's keep it. And obviously, we're going to keep in touch. And it's been a while since I've seen you. So, but thank you again for joining Chef Nick, Sean, and Evan. Great job.
Appreciate it and salute. Let's do it again when the playoffs start, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk when the playoffs start.
All right.
Yeah,
we love that.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much for
You're a
joining.
Hall of Fame in our book.
Appreciate my friends. Thank you.
Man, appreciate you.
Yeah,
Dana. Hey guys, Dana is the truth, and he was an underrated player. Whoever doesn't know about him, watch film on him, man. He was a highlight, man, back in the day, and he can score out of the best of them, and he was one of the top scorers in the league, and he no one talks about him, so that's why I was the first time I connected with him was when I reached out. Was on my show, but and then ever since we've been staying connected, talking, and he's a great dude, great guy to talk to, and obviously what a great career Dana had, and now he's doing a lot of stuff with the Celtics and everything. So he's well respected in Boston, and he makes appearances to Celtics games sometimes. So and to see that everybody go back to have a reunion, that's special. So. Like I said, Dana's a truth, and he's a real one, and grateful to be connected with him.
Absolutely.
I was a Steph Curry before Steph Curry. Man.
Yes, you were Steph Curry. You made Steph Curry. You were so you're you were before Steph Curry came. You were Steph Curry. You're the original one. So there you go.
All right, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great day.
Salute. Peace.
Love it.
Great job, guys.
Wow, that was incredible.
Great guy, man.
Absolutely
Great
amazing.
Absolutely.
Guys, I told you, everybody in the chat, my team and I have endless possibilities for you guys. And Chef Nick, you killed it. Sean, you killed it. Evan, you killed it. Everybody killed it in the chat. And like I said, we'll bring him back on the show. And he's a great guy. And he told you a lot of stories. And between the game and back in the day, man, that's really great.
Yeah.
So,
it's awesome hearing it from a player.
Yeah. There you go. The first ever guest for the NBA show. Good job, you guys.
There it is in the books.
That was amazing.
Put it in the books.
Awesome.
Guys, no, that was wild, and I told y'all we were gonna have a wild time. I said that this morning.
Yep.
That's right. You did.
No, he was great. He's awesome, and I really mean it. He's a Hall of Famer in my books.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time that it will become a reality. But where do you guys think if Giannis does get traded, where do y'all think it will end up?
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna say New York. I have a feeling, guys. There's a way you don't have to give up Josh Hart in this. You can give up Cat, OG, another player, and maybe if you're willing to give up a draft pick, and you get a guy like Giannis and another player from the Bucks or two, I think that could work.
What about you, Evan?
Well, I think it's going to be the Knicks or probably the Heat, in my opinion. I think the Knicks or the Heat, probably the best options for Giannis. I feel like, Giannis, the rumors to the Knicks have always been there. The New York market, all that. I feel like they have the assets to give them up. But the fact that, they traded 5 first rounders for Mikal Bridges, if they have to give him up, that's going to be, in my opinion, a big loss to the Knicks. I don't think they want to give him up. That's going to make it a lot harder. You're going to have to include a lot more salary in that trade. You're going to have to include more draft picks. So if you don't want to give up Mikal Bridges, but that's going to be a tough deal to make if you're the Knicks because you don't want to give him up.
Yeah.
So in that case, I feel like the Heat could be a team to look out for. But if the Heat do trade for Giannis, and if they do want to, I mean, at that point, they probably wouldn't want to sell. But if they wanted to shed some salary, I could see a guy like Norman Powell going to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think instead of Giannis, maybe Norman Powell would fit. And also Assad, what's up, my guy?
Hey,
How you doing?
What's up?
what's up, Assad?
Hey, how you guys doing?
My guy aside, what's up, brother?
Yeah.
We'll get Johnny soon too.
Yeah. Johnny.
Guy aside, what's up, brother?
Hey, I've been hanging around. I've been checking you guys out. How you guys are doing? Great interview with Dana, guys. You guys are the best. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Giannis. I'll give you another team for Giannis. The Warriors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to me, it's the Heat most likely. I'm not counting out the Knicks, but the wild card is the Warriors, especially with the fact they said that the Warriors had the most attractive of proposals. So that would be kind of an interesting deal, and then that would just be like oh man, they just got richer or bigger, in my point. Because then you have Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and then you got Giannis to that.
Chef Nick, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Giannis could go wherever he wants. I don't want him on the Knicks. I'll tell you why. Look, I'll give you my reasons why. I said this. I haven't been on the NBA show for specific reasons for a couple of weeks, but I'm still going to give my answer as to why right now. Look, since January 14th to the 19th, we've had a 4-game losing streak, and then January 21st to the 28th, we had a 4-game winning streak. So we are 4-4 from January 14th to January 28th. What does that mean? Okay, well, you know what? People panic a lot when we're on a losing streak. A lot of people don't. I didn't panic. Look, it's 4-4 between those dates. What does that mean? We are resilient. We are, yes, sure. Maybe they are burning out. Maybe they are losing energy and focus. It's totally normal. We don't have to put the panic mode on this. They are resilient. They are rebounding, no pun intended. But also, they get the struggles out now, and they're going to kill later. And I'd rather them getting their struggles and everything that's going wrong right now out of the way. So right now they can overcome that and then kill. Hey, Johnny, how are you? And then after, I won't be rude,
Just
man.
knock that in right there.
I want to be rude. Johnny Islami, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, as always.
Here comes
Likewise.
Absolutely. So getting the struggles out now, kill later. Again, with the panic button, a lot of people push that, especially with the Yankees, but with the Knicks in general, pushing the panic. Wow, they lost 4 straight. We need to trade. We need to get rid of this player. No, they need to keep their team intact. They have the chemistry. It doesn't matter if they're on a losing streak. They're going through this together. That's chemistry. They win together. They lose together. They fight together. That's why, yeah, you want to separate the team, go ahead. it's gonna be very bad going down down the line, especially after the All-Star break. So yeah, trade now and all that stuff. It's like you need to have patience. You need to, just like the stock market, trade now. Invest your time, invest your energy into them. You can't just sell now, trade now because there's a loss. Just like the stock market, you need to invest your time, your energy into them. Let it grow. Let your money grow. Let your time and energy grow into the Knicks. You guys are spending your time and energy into the Knicks, and they are doing great. They will do good. So you don't need to panic. You don't need to lose your patience, lose your cool. Like, oh my God, they're going to suck. They're going to go to last place. No, they're not. Let them go through what they're going right now, and then they'll overcome that. I believe that. I truly believe that. Oh, here we go. I truly believe that. So in regards to that, I just lost my train of thought. In regards to that, so yeah, so that's what I have to say. So there you go.
All right. Now, the question I asked before y'all popped down there, Assad and Johnny,
Yeah.
where do y'all think Giannis will end up if he gets traded?
Okay. I'll go first. First thing is, yes, we are on Giannis watch. Like the movies, you got the popcorn, you got
Yeah.
all snacks and stuff. For me, I got the pizza ready, I got the nachos ready, I got the popcorn ready. I'm hungry, man. But I'm gonna say this: when it's said and done, actually, it was a question that I wanted to ask Dana, because what I noticed, that one trend that happens nowadays, especially in the NBA, is players have to say where they want to go play at. So, like, really good example just recently with Kevin Durant asking to go to the Rockets, and look where you got traded, and Trae Young getting traded to the Wizards, where he named the Wizards as one of the teams he wanted to get traded to. So now there's a report saying that Giannis prefers to get traded where, to the Heat or to the Knicks and such. So I'm gonna say it. I do feel like it's gonna be a possible multi-team, 3 or 4 team, or shoot, even 5 team. I feel like Giannis is gonna go to the Knicks.
Okay. And
I like
then
that.
Johnny, Salami, the Heat's on.
So I don't see him going to the Knicks. I mean, all right, let me reword that. He probably will go to the Knicks, but I don't think it'll be the best move. Yes, we had our struggles, and Chef Nick actually hit the nail on the head. He basically said, we had our struggles. Let's have our struggles now, and get them out the way and play better later. And we had chemistry. I know right now it doesn't feel like it, but if we get that back together, we don't need him. So I see him going to the Miami Heat. I don't see him going to the Knicks.
All right. No, that's good. You guys, that's interesting. And then I know that there's, a lot of different other talks too about the whole LeBron offseason, where he'll end up
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
if he goes back to Cleveland for a third stint before he retires. I mean, he may just say, "Hey, I'm." It's a young man's game.
Right.
You
I mean,
know.
he was in
I can see
Cleveland the
that.
other night. He had the whole tribute
Yeah.
video and all that. But I just don't. I don't see him playing another year. I think he's done after this year.
So let me ask you this:
Interesting.
Say that Giannis goes to the Heat. Do you think the Heat will try to create another big three like Giannis, J.A. Moran, and another player, possibly on the Heat and such, or you just straight up Giannis and just build from there?
I don't. The problem with the Heat, they don't have them. They don't have that much assets.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A lot of players, like, they might have to give up Tyler. Obviously, they're going to give up Tyler Hero to get Giannis.
Yeah.
And what else do they have after that? They're not going to get.
But,
So if they try to get John Morant,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have to give up Bam Adebayo.
Mhm.
Also,
yeah.
you're going to get rid of. So you're going to get rid of Tyler Hero and Bam. I mean, and plus, I don't know. It's just Pat Riley. I know Pat Riley. He's the type of guy that takes gambles. Obviously, it has panned out for him. Obviously, with that big three,
Right.
So bringing in Jimmy Butler, it worked out for them a little bit. I think Jimmy Butler grew up as a player when he was in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
and now you see him focus in Golden State now. So
Mhm.
I think
Right.
Miami's a place where if like LeBron even said it, he treated it as a growing period for him, like a because he and then once he won those couple championships with the Heat, he
Mm-hmm.
felt mature. So so I think maybe you can see like a guy like John for the Heat. It's either one of them, John Moran or John.
All right.
John Moran's the most likeliest for Miami. I think that's the type of trade that Pat Riley would do, bring him into the system and make him feel comfortable and get focused on basketball. I know on the court when he's focused, he's obviously everybody knows what he can do. But with all the obviously the off the field, off the court issues that he's has over the years,
Mm-hmm.
I think a team like Miami, I think with the culture they have the right culture, and Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley in the front office, he can learn from them.
Yeah, and there's one thing about Pat Riley and even Alonzo was got to say in some of it. You know, Alonzo Mourning and you mentioned the other guy. Uh, is those two guys are experienced on building a team around the big guy or big group of people. And Pat Riley has an experience all through, even when he was coaching, of getting the players to play together as a team. You know, and
Right.
that's it'd be interesting though if they end up getting Giannis. I see them, being creative on how they build around him and making him feel comfortable. And that is one thing that Alonzo is real good at too when he gets involved.
Right. This wouldn't be like the Nets trading for James Harden. It wouldn't be like that. It would be a
Yeah.
more smart deal. It would be
Yeah.
obviously Spoelstra is way better coach than what the Nets were. With Harden and Kyrie and Durant. But you would have to have an organizational philosophy and history of success for something like that to work out. In my opinion, you can't just put it all together and not build anything around it and expect it to work, especially with a coach who was inexperienced and didn't know what he was doing. So I think that it could work out for the Heat.
Oh
It might
wow!
be bad for them long term, but for the future,
No, there's a score update with the Lakers. They
yeah,
beat
they're
the
winning. Yeah, they pretty
Wizards
much
142 to 111.
yeah 142 111.
Welcome back, Chef Nick.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
Hey,
Chef.
Chef Nick pops
Where's
up.
Chef Nick
And
at?
So then
I mentioned the Lakers win, and Chef Nick pops up.
there you go.
Yeah, let them. There we go.
So-
I know, right?
Most favorite team. I hope they win.
Yes. So the question.
Yeah.
So
Well, they did.
So when it's said and done, the question is that do you think Giannis will be the big major starter that gets traded at the trade deadline, or do you see anybody else?
Oh, that's a good
I
question.
oh, that's a
I
good question.
think he's the guy right now
Mhm.
that if he gets moved, or the floodgates will open up, and he'll probably might be the big guy to move. And they might, unless there's like a shocker, and somebody else gets traded that we're not even talking about. But just because the fact all the rumors are centered around him,
Yeah.
I think he'll be like the big guy. He might be the only. I don't know, but I mean, you know. But
Here's,
yeah, I just
here's my list. Ready? Giannis, Drew Holiday.
Okay.
I'm gonna say John Morant. I'm gonna say Michael Porter Jr.
Um.
I mean, I would love the Nets to keep him, but I don't know. I just teams will be calling them. I think Sean Marks will definitely take the calls. It has to be the right package for him, for sure. The Nets need to get a good quality package back for Michael Porter Jr. in order for them to do it. But I'm going to put him on the list just in case. But I do expect. I hope they keep him because he's been he's been like a spark to them, and I think he's obviously he's an all-star this year, and he's like one of the leaders. So, but I'm still going to put him on the list just in case, and I'm going to put Norman Powell, and I'm going to put I'll put I don't know, but those are that's like my list over there for now.
yeah. All right. Anybody else?
Chef
Got a
Nick,
big list.
I would say I agree with Nathan, except for one name, and that is Michael Porter Jr. Because there was a report that came out today from Brian Windhorst saying that apparently all this talk about Michael Porter Jr. he's never heard about it. So again, that contradicts questions like, all right, where all these sources are coming from, because Brian Windhorst he's known to be really reliable. So when he said that,
Yep.
all these reports are coming, but then he's never heard about these reports, nor the Nets are saying anything about these reports, I'm like, interesting. But I do agree with your other four, the players you mentioned about.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll give you a
Those
shocker.
false. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Johnny. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say those false rumors sounds like MLB offseason.
Yeah,
Right.
MLB insider.
Yeah, it's probably the same people.
It's a lot of misdirection.
same people who mentioned about Arson Judge. So yes,
Yes.
So they're gonna have us feeling like that scene in Georgia the Jungle.
there you go. Watch
We
out,
forgot,
brother.
I forgot to put Anthony Davis on the list. I think he's a name to be traded too. Anthony Davis. And then I'll give you a shocker. I don't know. The way that Cleveland is playing, this is not going to happen. I'm just going to put it out there. Ready for this? Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
all right. That's
Because the way that Cleveland has been playing, I just don't know. He's a top. I mean, he deserves a ring. Obviously, he's a great player. But I'm just shocked. Like they're like one of the not bottom feeders, I should say, but
Yeah.
I expected them to be like the top team in the East. I mean, they're top.
Well-
They're five right now. But to be honest, the talent they have, they should be up. They should be better than the Raptors right now. Raptors are surprising everybody as a team, and I'm just going to put it out there. Donovan, I know I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. Well, Donovan Mitchell and the way the Cavs played against the Lakers the other night, they should have a better record and they should be better playing because they were wiping the floor with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Another guy that I would add to that list, someone from the Nets, would be Nick Claxton. There are a lot of teams that need size, so I think teams would budge on that. And if it wasn't for Michael Porter Jr., where would this Nets team be?
There you go.
There
Come on,
There you go.
Yeah.
There he is.
No
Evan.
development. You don't utilize the right players. They use the same offensive philosophy. There's no changes.
There he is.
Yeah. Come on. Let's go.
12 and 34. You're one of the worst teams in the league.
Go ahead.
Under one of
Hey,
the worst records. Have the most amount of wins in the NBA.
And Evan, I'm gonna comment on that. You're looking very, and I'm gonna add another player on the Nets. You're looking very sharp right now. So he's another.
Yep.
I've heard rumors about. So yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And then what do you guys take on the heat weight the heater that Luka's playing on this last few weeks?
Unbelievable. Luka, when LeBron leaves, that's Luka's team, guys. So we're doing a preview of what he can do. So obviously, the Mavericks are. I don't know. I can't judge Cooper Flag right now. He's a rookie, but he started the season slow.
Yes.
But like in the last few months or so, he's been picking it up as a rookie, as a number one pick. It should be, but I'm not going to judge him right now. So right now, but obviously the Lakers are lucky to have a guy like Luka because unbelievable player, and I do think he's going to win a championship there before the Mavericks do, in my opinion.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that happening, for sure.
Do you guys want to switch on over to the Yankees?
Hey, you want to talk some baseball?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've talked about as much basketball as we can. Hey, but no. So the Yankees are.
One last scoreboard update before
Oh,
we
scoreboard.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Do the scoreboard.
All right, so we already mentioned Lakers defeated the Wizards 142-111. The Nuggets are defeating the Clippers. I believe Jokic is back for that game tonight. They're leading 22-18 in the first. Yeah. The Cavaliers are tied with the Suns 17-17. Pelicans lead the Grizzlies 95-87. The Knicks are leading the Trailblazers 85-69. The Celtics are leading the Kings 89-66, and the Raptors are leading the Magic 80 to 77. And coming up 9:30, Nets and the Jazz, and then at 10 o'clock, the Pistons and the Warriors.
Interesting, very interesting. And I would say to comment on that, when it's said and done, if I had to pick the rookie of the year, it's going to come to two players, either Cooper Flag or our man from the 76ers,
VJ
Edgecombe.
Yep, I like him.
Yeah.
Dylan Harper could be there too. I see him. He's a good player. But I guess one positive thing about the Nets was that Yegor Demon did make the Rising Stars Challenge for the NBA All-Star Celebrity Weekend. So congratulations to him.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
But he really deserves it. And I want to go back to VJ from the Sixers. This guy's a stud. I liked him coming out of college, and the Sixers got a steal. I think he's going to be a star in the making, and he's going to be better. I think he reminds me of Jimmy Butler, but he's going to be much better than Jimmy Butler, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Well, great stream, everyone. And it's an hour and a half. And we got a lot of things going on. And want to thank each and every one of you for coming on and being in the stream. Thanks so much, everybody in the chat. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. for WWE.
Let's go.
By the way, guys, Dana really enjoyed it. So.
Nice.
Awesome.
Hey, we enjoyed it too.
Dana. We really appreciate it. So we'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m., everyone, with WWE action, play-by-play with myself, and, of course, TJ from Total Turnbuckle Talk. So everyone have a great evening. Let's go, Yankees. Stay healthy. Stay warm tonight. It's going to be 1 degree, at least in the New York area. So please be careful. Stay indoors, and stay well. We love each and every one of you, and stay healthy. We love you. God bless you all. God bless America. Take care, everyone. Great show.
Great job. See you.